This episode will be completely taken out of context. Welcome to the Fact Check This podcast.
All right, Fact Check This daily. And I got to make this one kind of quick because I need to catch a little bit of a nap before we do. So Johnny had some Mexican internet problems yesterday, and we didn't get to do Peddling Fiction yesterday afternoon as we had originally planned. So we'll be doing that here in about an hour and a half or so. So anyway, like I said, I worked last night. I got to get a little bit of a nap in, but I wanted to go ahead and get the this morning's daily done and talk about this. It's a relatively short article anyway, so we should be able to read through it pretty quick. Free Our Feeds is the name of a organization that is taking on billionaire-controlled social media platforms. A $30 million campaign to free social media from billionaire control is now underway. For those who don't understand numbers, billion is a 1 followed by 9 zeros, and 30 million would be a 3 followed by 7 zeros. And that's a massive difference. I don't think they're going to accomplish a lot, but let's read the article nonetheless. Tech leaders, including an early Facebook investor, launched a $30 million campaign for independent social media. Free Our Feeds aims to counter billionaire control with the open source AT protocol. The campaign is led by executives from Mozilla, Social Web Foundation, and other tech nonprofits. Days after Meta announced controversial changes to its content moderation policies, a group of prominent technology leaders and nonprofit executives launched an ambitious $30 million campaign to build a social media ecosystem free from billionaire control. The initiative, called Free Our Feeds, aims to create independent infrastructure around the AT protocol, an open source technology that powers the Blue Sky social network and allows anyone to build their own social media application, similar to how open web protocols let anyone build websites. The project comes at a critical moment when traditional social media platforms are facing intense scrutiny over their concentrated ownership and control. For the first time, we have a clear pathway to securing the future of social media as a tool for connection, creativity, and joy. Nabia Sayed, the executive director of Mozilla Foundation and one of 9 custodians overseeing the project, said in a statement, "But it will take community-driven resources and independent infrastructure to ensure it remains free from the pressures of venture capital and billionaire capture." The campaign's immediate goal is to raise $4 million as part of a larger 3-year, $30 million effort. The funds will be used to establish a public interest foundation supporting the AT protocol and build independent infrastructure, including a second relay system. The relay is effectively a backup index of all content on the network that ensures developers and users can access posts even if Blue Sky restricts access to its data. The capital will also be used to fund developers to create new applications on the protocol. At the time of publishing, the campaign has raised nearly $18,000 from 273 donors on GoFundMe. Syed said one of the foundation's key goals is to operate the AT protocol infrastructure independently from Blue Sky. The greater the number of stakeholders who build on AT protocol, the more countervailing power they will have with regards to Blue Sky or any other large company involved in the network, she told Business Insider. The foundation will operate AT protocol infrastructure independently from Blue Sky to ensure there is always an alternative. Roger McNamee, an early Facebook investor turned tech critic who is backing the initiative, told BI that the project comes at a time when users are increasingly frustrated with existing platforms. What users are increasingly frustrated with existing platforms? For those who weren't aware, X is effectively becoming one of the, if not the leading sources of news out there, period. Like on the web, especially. Facebook is now undergoing some changes in content moderation policy because effectively because Elon Musk is now, or not Elon Musk, because Mark Zuckerberg is now no longer under the thumb of the Biden administration, and the restrictive federal agencies that were coming after him if he didn't do exactly like he's on record on an interview saying that they said either you police this stuff on Facebook or we come after you. And when he said no, they actually started to come after him. And so like what's the big problem here that these social media companies are allowing people to say things, to exercise free speech, to not censor real, true content? That's the problem that they have is that's why there are users are increasingly frustrated with the existing platforms because they have to actually hear people give an opinion that's not their own. Oh, terrible. We're in a world right now where every new startup is either crypto or AI, McNamee said. Show me something that might actually make the world a better place. If this works, it's going to make the world a much better place. Over the past few months, Blue Sky has seen explosive growth. Business Insider reported last week that the company is in the final stages of raising new funding led by the Bain Capital Ventures that would value it at around $700 million. The platform reached nearly 26 million users by the end of 2024, with nearly half joining in the last 6 weeks of the year following Donald Trump's election victory. While Blue Sky has positioned itself as an alternative to X, FreeRFeed's backers argue that Blue Sky's venture capital-backed structure could eventually face similar pressures as other commercial platforms. Blue Sky is built on values we share by people we admire. However, founders are not companies, the project's FAQ states. They will come under the same pressures all businesses face to maximize return to their investors. The campaign's 9 custodians include executives from Mozilla, the Social Web Foundation, and other nonprofit technology organizations. Development Gateway, a U.S. nonprofit organization, will hold funds raised through the crowdfunding campaign. The timing of the announcement comes just as Meta significantly scaled back its fact-checking program and as X continues to struggle with an advertiser exodus under Musk's leadership. See, they keep talking about that, but that's been proven to be objectively false as well. X is not struggling the way that they act like it is. The initiative's backers argued that these recent developments highlight the risks of concentrated ownership of social media platforms. We've gone a really long time since people in Silicon Valley actually solved a problem that existed, McNamee said, arguing that the project represents a rare opportunity to address fundamental issues with how social media platforms are structured and controlled. The foundation aims to be operational by the end of 2025. While ambitious in scope, the project's backers acknowledge the challenges ahead, but argue that recent events at major platforms have created an opening for fundamental change in how social media operates. Centralized ownership of platforms, our digital public square, leads to a constantly shifting, opaque digital environment in which people can lose their digital public square, and livelihoods from a single billionaire's decisions. We can do better. The internet doesn't need to be like this. If we work together, it won't be. Except that as it has worked out over the last several years, it's not that people lose their digital public square and livelihood because of a single billionaire's decision. It's because they lose that because the federal government forced these social media companies to censor people and to remove people and to deplatform people. Now, these billionaire-owned media platforms are freeing themselves from those government restrictions, from those shackles, from being told that they have to censor and deplatform people just for having an opinion that effectively the leftists don't agree with. They're actually seeing growth. I think it's hilarious how many people left X to go to Blue Sky, 26 million or whatever. That's in the social media landscape, fairly insignificant. But also, the number of people who are still on X promoting their Blue Sky accounts. Like, you do realize if you were actually like a competitor, you wouldn't be here on Twitter or X promoting your Blue Sky account and trying to get people to come follow you there. You would just put all your stuff there. So anyway, good luck to them. They've raised 18 grand, which I'm not sure what Elon Musk's per hour rate would be if you calculated the amount of money he makes on a daily basis. But I'm pretty sure between Musk and Zuckerberg, they could probably just torch the whole thing and not even think about it. But, whatever. It makes the lefties feel good. It makes them feel like they're doing something. Like, how crazy is it that they went so fucking berserk and insane over Parler whenever Parler was like going to be the alternative for right wingers? Oh, run away. And then Elon Musk buys X, and they do the same thing with Mastodon, which then became just a giant cesspool of child pornography and other terrible shit. Almost immediately coinciding with the left making their massive announcements that they were leaving Twitter. As soon as they announced that they were leaving Twitter and they all started migrating over to Mastodon, then Mastodon has all of these problems with child porn. Yikes. And then you've got the move to Blue Sky. And then Blue Sky is just overrun with like people reporting other people's posts. Like they don't want free speech. They don't want a platform where people they don't want a public square. They want you to only be able to say what they want you to be able to say. It's fucking sad and pathetic that like their views can't stand up to any type of challenge. But that's the way it is. Welcome to the leftist mentality and the progressive brain. Good luck to them. I think by the end of 2025, this thing will have been completely forgotten or completely fold, or a bunch of leftists will use this to launch out more insane content creation type stuff that only fits a certain niche and will die a fast and horrible death. But again, good luck to them. As with Blue Sky, Mastodon, and everything else that the left does, I can assure you I will not be checking it out. I created a Parler account long enough to see what it was, and then I deleted it because it didn't seem to. It seemed like an inferior product to like Twitter and others, other social media platforms. More power to Trump. I think Truth Social is valued at a few $100 million. I've never had a Truth Social account. I just don't have any interest in any of that stuff. If I ever lose my accounts, then I'll just be gone. Like I'm not messing with any of that dumb shit. So anyway, yeah, that'll do it for me today. Be sure to tune in tomorrow morning when the regular episode drops. It'll release at 8 a.m. Central on all of the podcatchers, Spotify and whatnot. And then at 9 on Rumble and YouTube. So be sure to tune in to all the places and check out tomorrow's regular episode. Also, you can tune in here in about an hour and 15 minutes when I join Johnny Profita over on Peddling Fiction for today's episode of that. So that'll do it for me. Have a good one, everybody. Later.